Yeah, what's up, fellas? Sometimes I like to just come out and park and find these random places and just, man, it's finally hit like that nice season and where I'm at, to where it's not like freaking blowtorch hot, or to where it's like too cold, you know what I mean, to where you can get out and enjoy the outdoors. So it's like the mid 70s. This is perfect. It doesn't last long around here. I just wanted to give my 2 cents. I'm gonna throw my 2 cents in the till. Whether people find it interesting or not, it is what it is, but I think it's gonna help a lot of people as far as like determining whether a tire is worth it, these R888s, an approach to it, some things you might not have known. And I got a tool here. I got mine from Competition Motorsport, but I have since went on their website and they don't have it anymore. So that's fine. I'll leave an Amazon link. I hate being generic like that, but I like to push like-minded brands and companies that that I directly interact with. But it is what it is. Not everybody can have everything, and you know, this is such a niche little tool. I get it. So a couple months ago, I guess I ran over a nail. So like springtime, midsummer is like real heavy construction here. So I don't know if it was a nail. I can't remember, but I had something stuck in my tire. You know, it was causing a slow leak. So I had to go in and get it fixed. This was the Supercharged 3s. This was right before we were going to do heads camp. So I kind of wanted to see if I couldn't like get these to drive down to Texas and back. I knew that they for sure would have been cooked by then. Yeah, I had a different plan for the wheels that were sitting up in my living room. That kind of got spoiled, and I ended up having to go ahead and I took it in, and it was below spec. The tires only come with 530 seconds to begin with when they're brand new. So long story short, I had to kind of make a split decision there, and I just ended up buying the Nitto NT 555 G2s. Hang with me. I know it's a 320 treadwear tire and it's kind of hard, but I had experience with them in my SS1LE and OJ, and I knew it was a good tire. So I kind of developed a strategy on the fly right there. When we did the first startup on the cam, that was what was on the tire. And then I had Supercharged 3s on the front. Like the Supercharged 3s were cooked. The ZL1's a little bit heavier. I put it on scale 3880, but I kind of have to compare factory curb weight to factory curb weight because I never put OJ on scale. So 3903 versus 3650. This car is a little bit heavier. I got 20,000 in OJ on the Supercharged 3s on the fronts, and I got about 15, 16 on the front and on my ZL1. So the Supercharged 3 is such an underrated tire, and I still stand on it. I'm gonna try to. So anyways, anywho, Supercharged 3 is a really, really good tire, and I'm just gonna say, if you're running at or around factory level power, I still stand by it. I'm gonna stand by it and say that the Supercharged 3 is all the tire that you need. The Nitto is an awesome tire, but it is 100%, especially at this power level. I'm gonna say anything 500 wheeling up, it's kind of silly unless you want to be drifting. You're okay with burning up because they come with a ton of tread, a ton of tread. Ooh. All I had was a GoPro, so, but I wanted to get time to get this video in, so bear with me on the angle and stuff. So anyways, this is called a durometer. And this is a measurement. It's kind of a stiffness measurement tool. It's a hardness. It measures off of shore A. Don't ask me how they labeled this because, or I'm sorry, categorized it, because I think we have shore 00, shore A, and shore B, or it might be some kind of other, you know, whatever the alphabet. But I'll put a freaking display up here. Here's kind of in our range of what we need as far as like as automotive enthusiasts. If you don't have it in your hand, there's nothing that there's no another analogy that I can really come up with to like describe it, or, you know, give it a descriptive word. So anyways, in the box, this measures rubber hardness. And I'll put some slow-mo, whatever, to kind of give you some detailed close-ups. What you're gonna get is in the box, you're gonna get, they have like a test or a control. I don't know if the GoPro is gonna pick it up, but they tell you what the Shore A hardness of this little rubber block is. And they give you a temperature, and then they give you a date of which it was made. Those of you that know, as soon as the rubber comes out of the mold, the petroleum and there's some other chemicals that are trying to work their way back out. It's like anything else. As soon as it pops out of the mold, the shelf life or lifespan of it's working its way backwards, back to zero. You have a control block. That is pretty cool. That is pretty nice. Kind of gives you like a standard. If I were you, I would probably just buy like a notebook or something and have like physical, tangible, or I suppose you can keep it on your phone. And they give you instructions as far as like how to use it, what not to do, blah, blah, blah. And I recommend following this. And it, just like any other nice little tool you get, comes in a pouch or whatever. I don't ask me, but it looks just like so. Boom. I don't know if you can see. Mine is digital. And when I got a hold of Competition Motorsport, they have a dial or a digital. If you can get the dial, it's just it's a little bit better. But well, that's my opinion. It's a little bit better in my opinion. If you have the digital, keep it inside, exposed to any kind of extreme climate temperature conditions. You want just regular room temperature. I recommend that for all your electrical tools, but it's pretty simple. It just has on, off, has a H for hold, so you can like, you put your, I know I'm saying a lot, I'm sorry. It's been a while since I've been on camera, and I just wanted to get this video done. So basically what you do is you want to roll in at an angle, and this will tell you, I believe that this is 0 to 100. That's perfect. I believe the 00 can like measure some gels, like really soft, down to maybe like gummy bears, real soft stuff. So it's a different kind of measurement, but this is handy because, as I've mentioned in videos of the past, Uniroyal will have a different tread wear rating. So their 320 will be different than Nitto's, will be different than Toyo's, will be different than Goodyear's, will be different than blah, blah, blah. But this eliminates all that. So if you know the Shore A hardness of this through your durometer, you know about the temperature range of what your tire is going to perform on your specific car because you've logged the data. So you know how you can push it, because everybody talks about compound, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? So as long as you know, like, whether you're on asphalt, concrete, it's going to be super consistent. And it doesn't matter what tire brand you have. So if you have a tire that is, you might be getting a deal on because they're a couple years old and they're afraid to sell them or charge full price because it's kind of like, it's, I can't remember what they call them, but old inventory maybe. Just hit it with your durometer. Okay, it's a little bit harder. It's a little bit, you know what I mean? Temperature change, hit it with your odometer. It's a very valuable tool, especially as you climb and increase in power. And it's the most recent reference, but everybody knows the bell curve. As far as like, and I'm not getting into that because it's not my channel, but everybody references the bell curve to like, smart and dumb. Those are the smartest are at one extreme end, and the others at the dumbest are at the other extreme end. Well, tires are the same. Like once you get down to right around 100 tread wear, they're susceptible to swing each way. So the hotter they get, the stickier they get, the faster they wear out, but you still get traction. It's a very good performing tire. The colder they get, the harder they get, and the more susceptible they are to cracking. And I'll put this up here. When you buy the R888Rs, I'm sorry. There's a lot of zeros and numbers and alpha and blah, blah, blah. There's a sticker that comes on them saying once they get below, I can't remember what the sticker said, but once it gets below a certain temperature swing, they will crack and you will damage the tire. So I'm going to recommend if you store it on the R888Rs in the winter over, you know, put it on a wheel crib. That way the car can't move. You can't roll it back and forth because you will crack the rubber, you will crack the tire. Maybe the cap or whatever is not that thick. I believe they come with like 6/32, brand new, and they do wear really, really quick, but it's a good performing tire. You just have to know how to take care of it. The tires all the way around were about $2,300. Prices vary, but I'm just saying, take care of your investment. So here's my strategy and everything. During the summer months, I'm going to run the R888Rs simply because that's when you're able to perform. That's when, you know, you're able to push the car to its potential, I should say. You're able to push the car to its potential and get the most performance out of it on the street. Therefore, that's when I'm going to want the R888Rs. Once it starts cooling down, then I'm going to want more of a daily tire because I still want to drive the car, just, you know, it's going to be cooler, it's going to be colder, not this nice weather is going to hang around. So I'm going to switch to the Nittos because one, it's still kind of a performing tire, but it's just a harder rubber. So they break loose, they don't get any traction. You have to really get a high roll if you want to get traction on the highway. But then again, if you get caught in rain or whatever, the best tire for Camaro 6 as far as I'm concerned. I did a video on it a long time ago. That video is still getting a ton of views, so this is why I wanted to put this out here. I want to put the correct information, that way you guys know if you want to start building power in these cars, how to approach this and not waste your money. I don't think I need to be taking these tires out on a track. I just need to drive them for a while because I have a lot of experience. Probably 20 or 30,000 miles on the NT 555 G2s. I've got a few thousand now on R888R, and I've probably got another 20 or 30,000 miles of driving the Supercar 3 in the SS1LE and the ZL1. I've got a lot of seat time on all these tires, pushing it at different power levels, and I know how the tires, well, the characteristics act, especially living in Iowa with such dramatic temperature swings. I believe, you know, at the coldest point of the year, it might get down to -40. At the hottest point of the year, it might hit 100, just a little over 100. And it's very, very humid here. So it's, yeah, the temperature swing's crazy here. I know, I understand I have a sample size of 1, but I think my sample size of 1 is a very, very good representation. So let's get out here. Actually, I'm gonna take this durometer out, and I'm just gonna show you real quick how to use it, and what it's gonna look like here. I don't know how this is gonna come out in the GoPro, so I will, you know what, when I get home, I will just go ahead and I will redo this again on the Nittos I got stacked up along the wall, and I will kind of give you like a slow-mo representation that way. The tire, the R888. Now what you want to do is you want to find the biggest, you want to find, get it here. You want to find the biggest lug, so the biggest block that you can of rubber, and you want to put the durometer in the center of that, and that's where you want to get your measurement. So I'm just going to find a nice, come in at a 45, turn it on, make sure it's zeroed, and I'm going to just roll it in. So the Nitto was what, 60 some? This is a 49.5. Now I will tell you The fronts are actually made in 2020, so they're a couple years old, and that was kind of the one selling point, is me being able to get them delivered to my place. Let me see what the rears read, because I know the rears are fresh. Find a nice chunk of rubber here. $50. So you know what that tells me? And those tires, can't find the production date because every tire manufacturer is different on how to read them. Reputable brands and manufacturers or retail stores where you buy tires, they try to not sell tires that are more than a year old. So it's all good. So I know that the rear tires are less than a year old, and the front tires are 4 or 3 years old, but they read the exact same short A reading. So I scored a deal on those because they were old inventory. So hell yes. Okay, I never did get a short rating on the Goodyear Supercar 3s, but you know, 49 on the Toyos and 60, was it 64? I can't remember. On the Nittos, it's gonna be somewhere in between, maybe a 55 or something, but that's physical data that you can have. And that's the exact moment my GoPro overheated and quit recording. I had to get to the gym. I want to stay motivated and get my workout in for the day, and let my camera cool down. These things, they're unpredictable. I hate GoPro. That's why I typically use my DSLR. But I just want to wrap this video up by saying that I do want to do a RAAR review, simply because I think that they deserve their own video. So I might do that later on towards the end of summer, or as soon as I take them off or whatever. Maybe we'll do like a POV drive. I don't know. But anyways, wrap the video up. Just want to say, hope you guys are having an awesome day. Like the video on your way out. Subscribe. Thank you for watching. Questions, whatever, hit me up below. I'll try to get to everybody. Take it easy, guys. See ya.